park for a little recreation at, what the heck, new signs. We got rules now, no swimming or wading in lake. All right, well, I don't really want to swim. No ice skating. I love to ice skate. Dang it. Wait a minute. No ice skating during winter months. It's summer. Woo!
On your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, you go down or a turn of 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. When I grab people, when I dirty, when I mean, we love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go sailing in the sea. We're always happy, lives we're living, yeah, that's our philosophy.
Good morning, everybody. This is the Crack of Dawn Report, and I'm Martin Zender. Try to forget about summertime for a little bit, if you can, and ask yourself the question, what is the source of all depravity in the world? I'm talking about depravity like World War II, infanticide, lice, Oprah, Pope Benedict, Joel Osteen. It starts with not recognizing God as God, not understanding the sovereignty of God. It's like they start to lose their minds. Yeah! It's all true. Listen to this. God's indignation is being revealed from heaven on all the irreverence and injustice of men who are retaining the truth in injustice, because that which is known of God is apparent among them, for God manifests it to them. In other words, people look at the sky, and they look at the grass, and they look at the trees, and they look at cats, and it's apparent to them that there's a mastermind at work. They know God. Look at these flowers. But knowing God, they don't glorify or thank Him as God. So who knows God but doesn't recognize Him as God? Christians, that's who. People who go to buildings just like this one. People who say that all is of God, and they say that God's in control, and they say that God is great, but who believe and teach in the doctrine of human free will, which in essence states that the will of man is actually stronger than the will of God. The human craves some degree of control, even a tiny little bit. It's a human lust, and it's horrible. That's a human lust, to want a little bit of sovereignty, to want a little piece of the deity to yourself. Gotta have a little piece of the pie. They can't believe that evil is of God, even though Isaiah 45:7 says that evil is of God, but they only believe that righteous people are of God, in spite of the fact that Romans 3:10 says there's no one righteous, no, not one. They hate that truth. Believe me, I know, I've tried to tell them. Oh yeah, I'd like to know how you got saved. He wants to know how you got saved. I chose Jesus. I got a free will. A bunch of MartinZender.com fans, put me down. Hey! Knowing God, they do not glorify or thank Him as God. They might glorify and thank Him, but not as God. It's all about the trappings of faith and the look of knowing God. But they don't know Him as the ultimate deity. The word God in the Greek is theos, and it means placer or subjector. God's name says what He does. He places things. He subjects things. but they don't think that he subjects them because they have a free will.
Please, could I have a little bit of control, please?
And so they don't thank him as God. They don't thank him as the subjector. They don't thank him for the bad things. They don't thank him for Hitler. They don't thank him for mistakes. They don't thank him for Mother Teresa.
Don't forget genital warts. What?
But vain were they made in their reasonings, and darkened is their unintelligent heart. It's human reasoning that says, yes, we want a semblance of God, but we don't want a God.
Capital G-O-D, we don't want a God.
Christians are like, don't tell us that God runs everything. I mean, like, how can God be in control of Hitler, right? See, right there, that's human reasoning.
You can't take everything from us.
Instead of believing scripture verses like 2 Corinthians 5:18 that says all is of God, that they start reasoning about it. That is sick. They can't just believe it, that all is of God, and so they reason. I wonder what that includes. So they have to start thinking and getting in touch with their feelings, and everybody has an opinion. See, right there, that's human reasoning. So you'll agree? I agree with that assessment. Imagine looking at all this, and then imagining that you can be your own little God. You have your own free sphere with your own little motions, your own little decisions. And that's when God begins to turn them over in the lust of their hearts to the uncleanness of dishonoring their bodies. It's like they start to lose their minds.
Yeah!
Not recognizing God as God counts with God for lusting in the heart. There's a lot more to lust than looking at women in miniskirts. In fact, that's an innocent lust compared to the human lust of...
Please, could I have a little bit of control, please?
That's a human lust, to want a little bit of sovereignty, to want a little piece of the deity to yourself. That's where it starts. And it starts with man thinking that he has some degree of control. Yes, I totally see that. Good.
Try creating a blade of grass, all you little gods.
What happened? Couldn't you do it? And at that point, you are on the road to every uncleanness. It's like they start to lose their minds.
Yeah!
I'm not saying you're there yet, but you're going to get there. Read Romans 1, verses 18 through 32. Romans 1:24. This has been Martin Zender at the Crack of Dawn Report. Thank you for joining me. If you have not seen my newsletter, the Clanging Gong News, then just log on to my website at www.martinzender.com. And you can sign up there and get my newsletter every other Saturday. It's free. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time.
Hey, what are you, a bunch of MartinZender.com fans? Put me down! Hey!